Morning guys, welcome to 2026. It is currently about 9:10 in the morning and I am already and stuff because I have to go do some stuff with my family today. We have like a weird New Year's tradition, which is to go to Dave & Buster's on New Year's Day. I don't know why. It just was a tradition that was started when I was a teenager, and for the most part, other than COVID times, we've kind of kept up with it. So my husband and I are going out to do that with them today, and I'm really excited to go spend time with my family. You can probably hear in my voice, though, I've had the sniffles for the last couple days, so I'm a little congested. As you guys might know, if you've been paying attention to any of my socials or anything like that, you will know that I am now done with my master's program. So I officially have graduated. I have my diploma. I'm all done. So the only thing though is that for the rest of the school year, I am still technically a student teacher. I'm still in what is called my apprenticeship, which is a little different than an internship, where basically I'm doing a lot more on the job kind of training and a lot more on the job experience things. It's a little different than an internship where a lot of times you're observing what's going on and a lot of times it's not paid. My apprenticeship is paid, and I basically get to spend the entire school year with a classroom, do a lot of the things I probably would have done if I had gotten my bachelor's in education as opposed to in English, which is what I did. Things are a lot more lax for me, which means hopefully I'll be able to have a lot more time for content. That's my plan, and a lot more time to spend doing things I actively enjoy, because I'm not going to be bombarded with homework like I have been for the last year and a half basically. So, but then again, when I didn't have that, I was still struggling with making content, so we'll see how this goes. But my goal is that I will be able to post content on a regular basis and get it all out to you guys in a timely manner. So this vlog though is going to go over the first few days of the month, because this is like the tail end of a week basically. It is also though the first day of Battle of the Bookish, so very excited for that. I have yet to make my morning post basically for the group on that, but I'm going to do that here in just a minute. I've got a lot of stuff I need to do this morning before I head off to Dave & Buster's with my family, so I'm going to try to get some of that done. First thing is I'm going to go over the two books that I am carrying over from December. I didn't start them, but they are books I wanted to finish in December that I just didn't. First one is the final book in the Bromance book club series by Lyssa K. Adams, A Very Merry Christmas. Again, like I said, I wanted to finish this but back before the end of December, especially because it's a holiday romance book. This one I'm really excited about because this is going to deal with a character who's kind of been a bit of a thorn in my side in this series. I just don't really care for him, so I'm hoping that this book will change my mind about him, because he's finally going to get his hopefully happily ever after. So we're excited about that. But then the other book is the third and final book in the Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon series, Glimmer Falls series by Hawley, A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. This is following a character that has been kind of a background character for the most part. He was a friend of the main character in the first book. It was her boss at her job basically, and I'm interested to see how this is going to go, because I don't really feel like I know a lot about him. He didn't really pop up very much at all in the second book, so we're kind of operating almost as if this is just a brand new thing, but I'm sure we're going to get cameos from the first two couples that were in the first two books. Now, let's talk about the two of the books that I've got on my TBR for the month. So the first one is probably one I'm going to start first before anything else this month when I get a chance to tonight, and that is going to be Volume 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami. This is for my Roll for TBR board game, and this is going to help me with getting to attack the monster that we've got going on for that. If you missed out on that video, please go check it out because it's really fun. I really had a good time making it and editing it and everything, and I'm so proud of the work I did with that board game, so I would really appreciate if you guys would go check it out. I've never read this series. I have been kind of hesitant to, because I wasn't sure if I was going to really enjoy it, but who knows, maybe I'll read the entire series this month. I don't know, but at the very least I'll get through this for sure before the end of the day, because it's a manga. Mangas usually take me a couple of hours to read. But then the one thing I'm going to be really trying to get my hands into today is the first 100 pages or so of Wind and Truth by, or not Wind and Truth, Rhythm of War, because I am planning on restarting 75 Booked on TikTok and Instagram. So my goal is to get through the hour and a half by listening to this audiobook for that time. This is going to be for the big TBR thing that I've been working on for the last 6 months basically. We're hoping to get through this one and Wind and Truth by the end of the month and get their respective posts out and everything. That's the plan with the big TBR challenge, is to get through, you know, these series or books or whatever and actively and consistently post about them. This will be a reread for me for Rhythm of War, but I don't remember anything that happened in this. And I've said this about several of the books in the series. I don't remember really anything about what happened in these books. But I have been pleasantly surprised with how much I have still enjoyed them and how much I have really started to retain from them. Oathbringer was a little bit of a yeah, but this one I'm kind of excited for because this is going to, I think, delve some more into some really interesting relationship dynamics, especially between Shallan and Adolin. Okay, so the plan for this morning is I do need to move over the footage for the big TBR challenge video thing. I need to move over that footage to my computer to at least make some room on my camera. Probably when I get back from Dave & Buster's, I've got some work stuff. I've got to prepare some content for next week because it'll be our first week back at school, and there's a couple things that I would like to have prepared in advance in case we get to that. Got about an hour. No, I've got more than that. I've got about a little less than 2 hours. I got a little less than 2 hours before I need to be getting out the door to meet my parents. I will be getting some work done, and I will see you guys when I've made some progress in whatever I've done and what my books are and all that stuff. So, see you later. So I forgot to film anything at all yesterday because I got busy with other things and just totally spaced. So that's on me. But I did get to my goal yesterday of reading 100 pages of Rhythm of War, which I got to page 102, and I did read a little bit of Game Changer. I read a little bit of, I actually finished a book yesterday because I did read the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. So that is my attack roll thing for my roll for TBR done. I actually gave Jujutsu Kaisen around a 5-star because I actually really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised. I liked the direction it's going. I have to start getting around because I'm meeting my mom for lunch after she gets out of physical therapy today, and we're probably going to bop around town, stuff like that, even though she did that yesterday after we went to Dave & Buster's, which was really fun, by the way. Yeah, so my husband and I, we didn't really have anything in the ticket area that we wanted, and so like there was really nothing for us, and we only had 1,500 tickets, so we actually ended up finding a guy who was with his son. The kid had to have been maybe 3 or 4 at the most, and we just gave him the tickets that we had because we weren't going to use them. We knew it would mean more to them to have a little bit more so that they could get something nicer for their son, kind of thing. So we just did that. I hosted sprints for the first time in a while yesterday, and I'm hosting them again tonight because I'm trying to every Friday night host sprints. Yesterday was more so just the Battle of the Bookish kickoff sprints kind of thing. I've already posted today my 75 booked video from yesterday, and I started this next one, so I gotta get a couple things done before I start getting around to go and meet my mom, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I do think I'm gonna listen to Rhythm of War here for that time that I'm doing some work, and we'll kind of go from there. So I like the way that Rhythm of War is starting off so far too, but I'll save my thoughts for that for the vlog that it's gonna be in. So, but yeah, we'll see you guys later. Wow, I'm so terrible about filming anything for this vlog. I apologize, but yesterday I went out and hung out with my mom for a little while, and I used up the last of the Barnes & Noble gift card that she and my dad had gotten me for Christmas, and I ended up getting a copy of The War Beyond by Andrea Stewart. This is the second book in the Hollow Covenant series, and if I'm not mistaken, I actually think I read the first book in this series literally like January of 2025. I'm very excited for it because I really enjoyed the Gods Below, and it was something I was really looking forward to with a sequel. So I'm hoping to get to this one in the next couple of months, hopefully. It is currently just going on 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I went and got my nails done. I got a 7 Brew gift card from my mentor teacher for Christmas, so I went and got a German chocolate with that. Basically what I'm doing now is I am in the middle of a sprint on my own to get some productivity stuff done. I'm in the process of working right now on getting my 75 booked day 2 video up on my channel. I just posted it to TikTok and Instagram, so now I just need to go post it on YouTube Shorts, and then we'll be done with that. And then I've got a couple videos I need to film. I need to do a story, Dob video, drink, outfit, book post for my story for TikTok and Instagram, and then I need to start filming my hobbies check-in video that I'm doing, which I'm going to be doing every Saturday on like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, that kind of thing. And then I need to film the sit-down TikTok video for Oathbringer and do that review video. And then I've got some other stuff I need to do today as well. So I've got about another 47 minutes of my timer left. So I think I'm going to get a lot of that done in that sprint. And then it's going to be from there. I need to go put the books on my futon away and stuff that I got for like Christmas and stuff all put away. I need to do a couple Patreon posts, and then the rest of the day is more creative activities like crocheting, working on my library spreadsheet, keeping up to date with the Battle of the Bookish stuff, things like that. Trying to enjoy my weekend by doing all the creative things so that when I go back to work on Monday, for the most part, I can just, you know, at work stay focused in. I don't know what I'm gonna do in terms of like posting and stuff. I think I'll wait until after obviously I'm done with work to like do posting stuff. I think that's just gonna be what it's gonna be, so I can really separate my work from, you know, my social media stuff. I will check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna also, while I do some work, listen to more of Rhythm of War. I did get to my goal for yesterday, so I'm currently on page 209. I'm on chapter 15. I'm gonna remove my sticky note from my page goal. So today's goal is to get to page 305. And then last night, the book is not with me because it's downstairs, because I took it downstairs after I had done sprints last night, but I did read the entirety of Haikyu Volume 1 again last night, and it is put in for Battle of the Bookish and things like that. It was a 5-star. I've always loved that series, and I love the first book, specifically the first volume, so I wasn't really surprised. There was like a couple things that I realized like going through this read of it, like my third time reading it, that there's like character-wise a couple things I didn't really care for, but it is what it is. It's the first volume in a series. It's also like the real setup of a lot of the plot going on with the series, and there's something very weirdly nostalgic about that series because I played volleyball when I was a freshman in high school and when I was in the 7th grade, and I will tell you 7th grade was a lot better than it was my high school year, because high school, it was really just annoying. I really did not like playing with the girls that I played with for the most part. Like, I had a couple friends on there, don't get me wrong, but the majority of the girls on that team were bullies and were just really mean and would really try to tamper me down in terms of my energy and my positivity and all these things, and trying to be, you know, the positive one in the group. And it was just really interesting to view it from, for some reason, like that frame of reference this time around, because like when I first read it, I recognized that. The second time I read it, I was kind of like, you know, oh, like I was looking at it through more of a rose-colored glasses perspective, and then this time it's not necessarily like completely negative that I looked at it through this time, but it was interesting to see how I was not only just nostalgic for playing the game, because I really loved playing the game. I loved playing volleyball, even though I wasn't really good at it, mind you. I was not very good at all, but I did I did my best. I really tried hard. It was also really interesting to not only look at it through like that very kind of nostalgic lens of playing, but then also looking at it from the perspective of someone who basically was like, in a way, bullied out of playing it. And because I didn't want to deal with the drama that there was with the girls on my team, I didn't want to deal with the people that I played with. There was like I said, a select few that like were perfectly fine. They were my friends and we didn't have any problems, but the majority of the team were people I did not like because they were already bullies to me, and then they all like just continue to pick and pick and pick on me, and I couldn't stand it. It was actually part of the reason too that I didn't play softball after my freshman year of high school. It's kind of why I moved away from sports in general and took up being in theater and drama club and things like that. Like it was like a really big thing. It was a big shift in my life my freshman year of high school, from playing sport to doing more theater-based things. And it was for the better, don't get me wrong. I found my place in the world. I found, you know, the people I needed to be around, and I've met, you know, so many people that I still talk to this day that, you know, were my friends then. But it was really interesting to kind of like look back on that during this read of that. Like my brain just goes in weird places if you don't know. But it was really interesting to kind of sit back and think about that as I'm reading this for the third time, and just being like, wow, you know, like there were definitely a lot of things I enjoyed about playing. I loved being a player in the game, but I wish I had had a better experience with a better team setup. I feel like I lost out on a lot of enjoyment of playing volleyball because I had such a crappy team for the most part in terms of attitude. Some of them were really good players and went on to play varsity and all these things, but as far as their attitude when it came to anything regarding anything at all, anything I did specifically, which wasn't anything at all, like I would just be there and they would find a reason to pick on me. And they would find a reason, especially when I was trying my hardest, to bring me down and make me feel like I was a piece of garbage. I would have had, I think, a better experience had I not had such a negative space to be in, and had better attitude from my teammates, and actually had felt supported by my teammates, as opposed to having been ridiculed and attacked and all those things. I mean, as it is, you guys probably know by now, I have PTSD from a lot of stuff that I did when I was in high school. It's something I'm actively working through and actively like in therapy for. But it was interesting to come across that, and I'm curious about how I can work that into the therapy I'm doing now, because I'm getting back into doing EMDR and really kind of honing in on those things. And that was a point in my life where I specifically have a lot of anxiety around, and the things that kind of came from it are a lot of feelings of lack of self-worth, and lack of, you know, trust in myself, and lack of love for myself, because I spent so much of my time growing up in those years of high school where I was nothing but ridiculed by people that were supposed to be supportive individuals for me. So I've got therapy coming up next Friday, so I'm curious to see how I can work that in, and how I can start using that as a jumping off point to start trying to find a way to heal. I'm grateful that these things kind of pop up, because they're things I haven't thought about in a while, but they're things that have been like kind of sitting in the background, if you will. And now that I'm actively trying to heal those parts of myself and really rebuild my self-confidence and my self-worth, it's probably a good thing that this came up, because it's something that has been a huge part of me that's been like difficult to reconcile with. So I'm grateful that this read actually kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to that, and and specifically to how I'm able to separate, you know, the enjoyment of the game versus the problems I had with my teammates, and how I don't necessarily hate volleyball in any way. I don't hate the game. I don't hate the aspect of it. What I hated was how I was treated. And I love that I'm able to separate those two and still have a love for the game despite all the nastiness that I dealt with when I was playing. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to go get started with my work for the day, and I will check back in with you guys a little bit later when I'm working on stuff. All right, happy Sunday, everybody. It is about 1:45 in the afternoon right now. I am currently watching Twitch sprints for Allie or with Malice, so I'm doing some productivity stuff while we're doing sprints on Twitch. I have already gotten quite a few things done today. I still have a lot I need to do. I also need to run to the library to return some books and hopefully renew one of my books that I have because they are overdue, because they were due during the holiday weekend kind of thing. So I need to go get those taken care of, but I do want to get a few things done here before I do that. So I just filmed a video for Patreon. I want to edit and get that posted here really quick because it's a very quick video, and then I want to get maybe a couple other things done before I leave. I don't know. I'll see kind of how I'm feeling. I may do my library run after I finish editing and posting that video. I do want to get to my page goal of today for Rhythm of War, which is page 404, I think. Yes, 404. Need to remove the sticky note from yesterday's page goal. So 404 is the goal. I will be listening to this as I do some other tasks that don't require like my ears to work with it. And then I would like to officially start both A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Demon and A Very Merry Bromance. This one though I have to return because it's due, but hopefully I can renew it because I prefer to read these books physically than I do the audiobooks. I don't know why, just for some reason I just really like the physical reading of this one as opposed to listening to the audiobook, but I have the audiobook if I need it. I did all my crocheting I wanted to this morning, which is good. On my list I still have to do a reading check-in post later on today on Patreon. I need to film a TikTok video of what I've read over the first few days of the month. I have to edit this vlog to be able to post on Patreon tonight. That'll go up tomorrow on my channel. And then I have to do my TikTok 75 booked thing. And I would like to also work on my library spreadsheet because I didn't do that a lot last night. I got some books put in, but I was not well last night. I went to bed and I just was exhausted. I don't know what it was. Maybe I did too much. I don't know, but it's not anything that I'm not done before and the amount of stuff that I've done before. So I don't really know what it was, but for some reason I crashed hard last night. So I am going to go get started with all of that. Alright guys, it is going on 6:30 in the evening right now, and I need to end this vlog because I need to get it edited and posted to Patreon and posted and scheduled on YouTube. As far as my progress for today, I have yet to reach my goal for Rhythm of War, but we'll be getting there soon. I feel like overall I've made pretty good progress. I finished 2 books in the first few days of the month already, and I've consistently every day been able to read 100 or so pages of Rhythm of War. I will be finishing that goal for tonight by the end of the night. I just need to stop this vlog because it's time to stop it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a life vlog, reading vlog with me. I go back to work tomorrow, and I will be starting up next week's vlog tomorrow as well. And so you guys will hopefully get to see me get through a lot more of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff today. I have basically, this is the last thing I need to finish for tonight before I am pretty much done for the night with any social media stuff or anything like that. So that's awesome. I hope you guys have a great night if you're watching this on Patreon. I hope you have a great day if you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.